Well, today I'll be shooting for the first time since taking ownership of this. I actually fired this the day I ended up trading for it. I didn't know I was going to trade for it. It's just a firearm that my friend brought to the range, and I took a liking to it. And it was an expensive trade for me. It cost me quite a few of my lesser firearms to trade for this, but I'm very pleased with it. This began life in 1912. It's a Colt Single Action Army 45. I don't know what caliber it was then. If I had to guess, I'd say it was probably 3220 or 3840 or something. 1912 was the smokeless era, and my research has indicated that sometime between 1956 and 1959 somebody sent this back to the Colt factory. I'm sure it probably had a lot of finish wear, and maybe it wasn't in a caliber he wanted, and Colt replaced the barrel and the cylinder and the hammer, maybe some internal parts, I don't know. They kept the back straps. The whole grip frame assembly is original, and they refinished the whole piece, and they did a nice job. It's a beautiful revolver. Certainly lost a lot of collector value, even though the work was done at the Colt factory, but there's no knowing what condition it was in before the work was done. So there's really no way to know how much value it lost. But that was my gain, because I couldn't afford one all original that looks this nice. So I like shooting black powder, so picked up these Blackpowder cartridges from Atlantic Products, 255 grain, round nose lead flat point. That's some old 45419 It approximates the original bullet for this cartridge, and that's over 40 grains of GoX FFF, so usually a pretty stout load. I'll check this for accuracy, and I'll run a few through the chronograph just to see what kind of velocities we're getting out of it today. I'll be shooting it at my plumber's nightmare steel targets. Picked up some AR 500 steel plates from Widener's. Had a pretty good price on them, and built a contraption to hang them from. This is, what would you say, Sarge? Distance to that?
15 meters.
Yeah, maybe that far.
We're both Army guys, so we only know meters when it comes to ranges.
Alrighty.
Nice.
That's a hard kicker.
Great.
I've just got to know what kind of velocities that's setting them. That's a hard kicker.
Got a whole box of Atlantic product.
Okay, chronograph testing with some Atlantic products. Blackpowder, 255 grain, round nose lead flat point, over 40 grains of GoX FFF. We're about 10 feet from the chronograph. Be firing this out of a 7.5 inch barreled Colt Single Action Army 45.
Love those Atlantic products. 994.9. 955.6. 1004. 992.1. 997.6.
All right, that's a powerful load, much more powerful than any factory loading that's safe to use in Colt Single Action Armies. Good performance. All right, here's old Sarge shooting the Colt 45 Single Action.
Great.
Blackpowder loads.
insane.
One got away. There we go. 255 grain lead flat point over 8.5 grains of unique out of a 7.5 inch barrel Colt Single Action Army 45.
847.2. 777.6. 733.3. 694.8. 770.4.
Terrible. Terrible.
What's up with the spreads on that, man?
Pretty wide. Pretty wide. Alright. Had a pretty wide spread on those, so we're going to position sensitivity test. Powder at the front.
710.2. 8040. 725.1. 716.3. 769.3.
All right.
A little better, but not. There's still some.
See, but we'll try it with it to the rear. All right, to the rear.
946.3. 937.5. 945.6. 953.9. 908.8.
That's it.
That was actually a lot better.
And so as you can see, it's position sensitive. If the powder's toward the rear of the case, you're going to get higher velocities and more consistent velocities. And that's the problem with the 45 Colt cartridge. It's designed for black powder. It's such a cavernous cartridge case. And modern smokeless, to get the low pressures that you need, it just doesn't take enough of them to fill the case very much.